The ongoing debate over the health implications of various cooking fats has been a simmering issue for decades, but lately, it's starting to boil over, particularly with the renewed focus on beef tallow and seed oils. This is not merely a culinary disagreement, but a heated conflict with serious public health implications, one that touches on everything from cardiovascular health to chronic disease epidemics. The resurgence of beef tallow as a favored cooking fat, backed by figures like U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., reflects a growing movement to bring back traditional fats in response to the ever-expanding presence of seed oils in processed foods. However, this push for traditional fats like beef tallow should be approached with extreme caution, as it overlooks decades of scientific research, misinterprets nutritional data, and potentially ignores the harmful health effects of these animal fats. Historically, beef tallow and other animal fats, such as butter and lard, were the primary cooking fats in the United States. Yet, the early to mid-20th century saw a drastic shift. As studies began to link animal fats with rising cardiovascular issues, a wave of new research emerged, pointing to vegetable oils, such as canola and olive oil, as healthier alternatives. While this scientific consensus was certainly imperfect, it was based on a growing body of evidence that plant-based fats could, in fact, improve health outcomes. Fast forward to today, and the momentum is swinging back in favor of animal fats like beef tallow, thanks in part to voices like Kennedy's, who advocates for a return to traditional ingredients like beef tallow as a way to combat chronic diseases. But while this growing movement may seem rooted in concern for public health, it is misguided at best and downright dangerous at worst. Beef tallow, which is primarily composed of saturated fats, poses well-documented risks to cardiovascular health. Saturated fats have long been associated with raised LDL, bad cholesterol levels, a key factor in the development of heart disease. Despite the push for beef tallow as a healthier alternative, the scientific community has consistently warned against increasing intake of animal fats. Dr. Alice H. Lichtenstein, a leading nutrition scientist, has been very clear in her criticism of this trend, stating that it would be detrimental to increase the consumption of animal fat while decreasing plant-based oils. Her warning reflects a wealth of evidence showing that diets rich in plant-based fats, such as those found in olive and canola oil, lead to better health outcomes than those higher in animal fats. This debate, however, is far from straightforward. Beef tallow, along with other animal fats, is promoted by some as a natural alternative to highly processed seed oils, which have been demonized in the wake of studies linking them to inflammation and chronic diseases. But this oversimplified narrative misses the mark in many crucial ways. While it's true that seed oils, like soybean or sunflower oil, are highly processed and rich in omega-6 fatty acids, which may contribute to an imbalance in the typical Western diet, the consumption of animal fats comes with its own host of issues. The rise of seed oils and processed foods has undoubtedly increased the availability of omega-6 fatty acids, and yes, this imbalance has been linked to conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. But the alternative being promoted, increasing beef tallow consumption, is hardly a health panacea. The true danger of focusing on animal fats, particularly beef tallow, lies in the fact that these fats are largely saturated. While some proponents argue that beef tallow is more stable and less prone to oxidation than polyunsaturated fats like those found in seed oils, the health risks associated with its consumption are undeniable. Saturated fats, especially those found in animal products, contribute to increased cholesterol levels and have been consistently linked to heart disease. The long-standing advice from health professionals has been to reduce saturated fat intake in favor of unsaturated fats found in plant-based oils, like olive oil, which have been shown to lower cholesterol and reduce inflammation. Even more concerning is the rhetoric surrounding these fats, which has turned a nuanced discussion into a polarizing debate. Figures like Kennedy are fueling an anti-seed oil movement that, while superficially attractive to those disillusioned by the processed food industry, overlooks the broader implications for public health. The widespread adoption of beef tallow, promoted as a healthier, more natural alternative to seed oils, could very well lead to an increase in diet-related diseases that have been largely controlled or mitigated in the past few decades. The rhetoric often downplays the significant body of evidence showing that replacing saturated fats with unsaturated ones improves heart health, and instead focuses on a narrative that is more about nostalgia and anti-modernity than about solid science. What makes this even more concerning is the rise of these debates on social media, where nuanced scientific discussions are often reduced to simplistic soundbites. People are increasingly influenced by influencers and celebrities, rather than trained nutritionists or medical professionals. As such, recommendations like those from Kennedy to make frying oil tallow again may sound appealing, but they ignore years of established research on the detrimental effects of high animal fat consumption. Social media platforms, rather than serving as tools for spreading accurate health information, are now breeding grounds for dangerous dietary trends that could undo decades of progress in improving public health. Moreover, the debate around seed oils and animal fats is muddied by the lack of long-term, conclusive studies on both. While some early research on seed oils has raised concerns about their health effects, particularly when consumed in excess, the evidence on the harm caused by beef tallow is much clearer. Its contribution to chronic disease is well documented, and the consumption of saturated fats remains one of the key dietary factors in the development of heart disease. Therefore, switching from seed oils to animal fats without a clear understanding of the consequences could be a disastrous move for public health, particularly as cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of death worldwide. In conclusion, while the growing movement to revive beef tallow as a cooking fat may sound like a step toward returning to healthier, traditional diets, it overlooks key scientific evidence. The risks of increasing saturated fat intake far outweigh any perceived benefits of using beef tallow over seed oils. Furthermore, the increasing reliance on social media to drive this movement without proper medical oversight only adds to the dangers. Until more rigorous, large-scale studies are conducted on the long-term health effects of these fats, individuals should be extremely cautious in embracing these trends, as they could easily lead to a resurgence of health issues that modern nutrition science has worked hard to mitigate. The battle over cooking fats isn't just about taste or tradition. It's a matter of public health, and the stakes couldn't be higher.